Sathya Sai Speaks, Volume 14, Chapter 56. The Message of Brotherhood, Part 1 of 3. Embodiments of the Divine. The cosmos is permeated by God. What we call the Jagat is the world in which we are born, grow, and return to the place from where we came. The earth is the base for our world. On this earth, ceaselessly, inside and outside, night and day, everywhere, we have the air blowing, but it is not visible to the eye. Man spends his time in various activities, eating and resting. When we look up, we see the boundless sky. During the day, we see the sun shining gloriously. At night, there is darkness. Wherever we turn, we see mountains, rivers, trees, houses, and mansions. All these beautiful things are visible to the eye. In the story of man, the first activity which he developed was agriculture. Every living thing feels hunger and searches for food. The first cry of a child is for milk, and the moment it gets fed, it goes to sleep. Food is thus the first essential thing for every living thing. This food comes primarily from land. This is the reason why, from the earliest times, the people of Bharat worshipped the earth as the giver of food, as a Bhumata, Mother Earth. It is by cultivating earth and land that man has sustained himself all these centuries. Along with this, other activities developed. As the population grew, villages grew into towns. With the growth of civilized communities, arguments arose between men as to the cause of their happiness and sorrow and how man could get over them. In these inquiries, some enlightened persons, examining their own experiences, discovered some essential truths. Some others, who were wiser, realized that there were things beyond what has been known. Conclusion of great inquiring minds. The questions that were asked were, what is it that we should really learn? What are the things that are beyond our powers? It is clear that we cannot create the earth. We cannot create water. We cannot survive even for 10 minutes if we do not have air to breathe. That is not all. In real life, we find that we are unable to understand the secret of birth and death. Many who try to discover the nature of death, to find out what happens after death and what is the mystery behind death, could find no answer. Hence, those who were endowed with deep inquiring minds came to the conclusion that there is a power which underlies all living things, and that power is derived from the divine. They described that power as God. They concluded that there was divine power which was beyond man's logic and which pervaded the universe. What is this power? How are we to recognize a thing which is not visible to the eye? Are we to believe in it? Some scientists consider that it is impossible to know this thing, but the ancients regarded the sun as a demonstrable evidence of the existence of divinity. They felt that without the sun, the world will cease to exist. Nothing can grow without the sun. No human activity would be possible. Man would not be able to survive endless darkness. Hence, they felt that this great source of light and energy was proof of the existence of a divine spiritual power. Later, a controversy arose as to whether this divine principle is one or many. They came to the conclusion that God is only one. Ekam Sat, and could only be one. The Vedas also declared Ekoham Bahusyam, I am one, manifesting as many. Thereby they proclaimed the unity of the divine. Although the divine is only one, it appears as many to different persons. Pranava is the origin of all knowledge. It is in this spirit of profound inquiry that our sages and seers performed tapas, penance. By their penance and austerities, they discovered that the pranava is the origin of all knowledge. If the pranava, Om, did not exist, there would be no sound and no speech. Similarly, the numeral 1 is the basis for all numbers. All numbers are obtained by adding more and more ones to the primary number 1. Thus, it was realized that this oneness is the essential quality of the divine, and the diversity that is seen in the world is only a manifestation of the divinity. The divine was regarded as the primary seed of the diversified universe. The seed requires husk for it to grow. The husk is the cover, and inside is the seed. Similarly, for the seed, which is God, the husk is the universe. Without the seed, the husk cannot exist. It is in recognition of this fact that the Maharishis, great sages, declared Isha Vasyam Idam Sarvam. This entire universe is permeated by the divine. Can this vast universe, which is sustained by divinity, be regarded as different from the divine? Whatever is associated with the divine is a reflection of the divine. When the Purusha Sukta, hymn on the Supreme Divine Person, describes the divine as having 1,000 heads, 1,000 eyes, and 1,000 feet, it is proclaiming the divinity that pervades the universe in numerous forms. This also means that every object is a part of the divine and the cosmos, composed of these myriad forms and described as the Vishvavirat, the cosmic being. The Vishvavirat is not a figure drawn by a painter like Ravi Varma or a person described by a poet. It is the form of the cosmic divine person. One must accept the authority of the Vedas. We must look upon this multifaceted universe with its myriad beings as the cosmic expression of the one divine entity. The divine principle is immanent in the smallest body and in the whole of creation. Yata andhande tata brahmande, as in the small egg, so in the cosmic egg. The Andanda represents the individual and the Brahmanda represents the whole cosmos. If we are able to understand the truth of the individual, then we shall know the truth about the whole universe. What is the evidence for determining the divine nature of the cosmos? Students, puffed up with a little knowledge, ask how anyone can believe in the divine nature of the universe when it is not demonstrable. Such persons are forgetting their own inherent divine nature. Does the misguided person base all his knowledge on the objective, the physical form of what he calls the mind? If it has no physical shape, how does he see his mind? One says, I am happy. What is the physical form of happiness? To seek direct physical evidence for everything is a sign of insolence. Only jnanis, liberated persons, who have realized the divine can demonstrate the nature of the infinite divinity and not others. Let me give a small example. One individual asks another, "Who is your father?" You had no eyes to see your father before birth, nor did you have the intelligence to find out who your father was. The second man replies, "The proof is derived from my mother, who told me who my father was." This shows that on a matter so vital as to who his father was, he accepts the statement of his mother and believes it all his life. In the same manner, you must accept the authority of the Vedas, sacred scriptures of the Hindus, regarding your Divine Father. End of Part 1 of 3, Prashanti Nilayam, November 22nd, 1980.